Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. It's Jen from You So Much, and I'm here to have another day of celebrations with chocolate for breakfast. I'm so excited you're here. If you are joining me live, please do share in the chat box with me, say hello, or tell me about something that you're celebrating, or tell me what kind of chocolate you love. Would love to hear from you. And of course, if you're watching this on the replay, do the same thing in the comment box below. Would love to hear from you. So as I've been doing every day, I am celebrating with chocolate, and because I believe in the power of having things that you love first thing in the day to set your day right. Have some pleasure, whatever your pleasure might be, and make yourself feel good. Make yourself feel so good. So today I'm trying something new for my chocolate, something I've never had before. And this particular chocolate is kind of like a gourmet almond joy. Now, I really haven't had any almond joys since I was a kid, except for maybe I had some like a Halloween or something like that one time when I went Halloween trick-or-treating with my daughter or something like that. But I used to love almond joys as a kid. Actually, I used to hate them, and then all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, I really love coconut. I didn't realize how much I loved that yummy coconutness. And if you've ever been to Mexico, they make like the really awesome, like natural almond joy type stuff, like these like coconut logs. They're so good. They're like to die for, especially when you're all hot and kind of dehydrated in Mexico. It tastes extra awesome. Hey, welcome, Janice. I see you in the chat box. Thank you so much for joining and saying good morning. So anyway, I found this at the store and it looked so good, and it's called coconut salted almond with dark chocolate. So it's kind of like a gourmet almond joy, and it's by Theo. And I've had something similar by them before. They make like a peanut butter cup, I believe. But this is almost more like an almond joy. So, and there's like two little pieces in there, kind of like an almond joy. So let's give this a try, a gourmet almond joy. Oh yeah. Oh wow. Wow, these guys are gonna give Almond Joy a run for their money. Holy crap, these are so good. Yum, yum, yum. I have some coffee celebrating with as well. So, the first thing I'm celebrating today is I am celebrating my intuition. I'm so grateful that I feel like pretty good intuition, and I think a lot of us do. It's just that sometimes we ignore it, and we don't really pay attention to what our gut's telling us or what our intuition's telling us. And I'm super grateful that I tend to tune into it often. I used to assume, make assumptions about what the intuition meant. So for example, I could walk into a room and kind of feel like someone is angry, and then maybe I sense that it's because of me, or I'm assuming it's because of me. And so I have done a better job of not making those assumptions when I can sense something about somebody, sense another emotion in something, or have a tuition that, something's free, I shouldn't walk into that dark alley, right? Or whatever it is, right? I tend to not now assume that I know why I'm having that intuition, because there's sometimes you just don't know. But and if I want to know why, I'm doing a much better job of asking questions like, what's going on with you? Are you okay? Some space, whatever it is, like understanding that that I shouldn't make an assumption about what my intuition's telling me, right? And I think the other thing that's helped me in that sense also is that I used to really almost take on those emotions that I'm sensing when I walk into a room. And so like if I walked into a room and someone was feeling bummed, instead of, dancing around and being my silly self and maybe even making that person feel better, what I have done is, kind of withdrawn in the past and not been myself. And so instead, I have learned that I have the power, as we all do, to help, influence other people's emotions around us. Not always, but if sometimes, rather than taking on their emotions, which have nothing to do with me, if I have an intuition about something, maybe if I just continue to be myself, it can help the situation, right? if I sense that someone's sort of feeling withdrawn and tight, and so then sometimes I wouldn't give them a hug when maybe a hug is like exactly what they need to feel better. So I'm super celebrating my intuition, and I'm celebrating that I have done such a much better job of not making assumptions about that intuition, but where it's coming from exactly, and exploring a little bit further and asking questions, and just observing where that intuition is coming from, rather than, again, letting it influence my own behavior, or other than, like, like if I see a dark alley and I'm getting a sense that I shouldn't walk down the dark alley, I'm not going to walk down the dark alley, right? But just in terms of sensing other people's emotions. So anyway, I think intuition is such a powerful tool that we sometimes all ignore, and I think it's such a great thing to pay attention to, your own gut, and knowing when something is wrong or right. I've talked about this a little bit before in the past, the 80-20 rule. I feel like sometimes I read this thing by Perry Marshall, who wrote this book on the 80-20 rule, which isn't his own rule, but it's something that he wrote this whole book on. And one of the things he talked about was, like, if you have this feeling that something's going to work out, and that's awesome it's okay if you're a little unsure, but only a little bit. Like, if you're less than 80% unsure, then it's probably not going to work out. And part of that too, which I really kind of dig about that rule, is that if you're kind of like, I'm not sure this is going to work out, this is maybe not the right choice for me, excuse me, and you go forward with it anyway, I think sometimes that doubt can just seep into your own actions, behaviors, right? So unless you're like 80% sure, or even like 80% excited about something, then I think it's going to be much more likely to work out for you. So I love thinking about the 80-20 rule too. Like, am I 80%? How am I feeling about this? Is it 80% sure? Is my intuition telling me this is 80%? I'm 80% right. And if it's not, then exploring a little bit more and asking the right questions to the right people. So anyway, celebrations to intuition. The next thing I am celebrating today is I'm celebrating great ideas. One of the things that I really love about myself, and I'm super grateful that I always tend to have tons of good ideas. Okay, maybe not good. I'm not going to qualify them as good, but I'm one of those people that can do a ton of brainstorming and come up with hundreds of ideas in a fairly short amount of time. And I'm a huge fan of brainstorming. I love it. It's one of those things that I feel like people could rely on me more for. And I want to make it more clear to people that I have tons of ideas, and maybe they're not all perfect, but writing down all the ideas. Oh, Sherry, I see you in the chat box. Yay. Thank you so much for welcoming, or for coming and joining me. So one of the things I'm really grateful for is that I have no shortage of ideas, of ideas. And I love this thing that, I think I've talked about this before too. James Altucher, who's one of my favorite, podcasters, also wrote a book about this, something about like choose yourself first. And one of the things he talks about in that book is that what he feels like has helped him become, more, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, that has attracted prosperity in his life, is that he writes down ideas every single day. It's his thing that he does every day. He writes down 10 ideas, and often they're not always for himself. In fact, a lot of times they're for other people. And that's what's helped him, again, increase the amount of, prosperity in his life, because he has sent ideas to other people, and he doesn't expect anything from anybody. It may not work, or one of his ideas may be so awesome, one of the ones that he thought of that probably maybe he thought was the worst idea, ended up being the best idea for the person he sent it to. So anyway, I love the idea of writing down 10 ideas a day. I love that idea of brainstorming. And one of the things I've been doing lately is I have been taking some time to brainstorm for my business, for my book, and it just makes me feel better. Like, I just feel more inspired and more creative. And I know it's going to help bring more prosperity to my life too. So I'm super grateful for all of the ideas in this world. And the other thing I am super celebrating today is I'm celebrating decoration. I love decoration of all kinds. I love decorating my home. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love decoration on myself. So earrings, necklace. I plan on doing my nails later today, which was what made me think of it. I really am a huge fan of decoration. And I love bringing in decoration to help set my mood, to help bring beauty to the world. I just feel like it helps so much when we have decoration around us, however that might be. And it might be decorations for a birthday party, right? Or for a Valentine's Day funness. I still have my Valentine's Day banner up, which has made me think of that. But decorations also help us celebrate, right? They help us celebrate a day, but decorating myself with jewelry and nail polish helps me celebrate myself. And so I'm a huge fan of decoration, and I'm celebrating decoration today, which is another form of celebration. So it's like celebration inception or something like that. Anyway, would love to see what you guys are saying in the chat box here. Let's see. Janice is saying that managing ideas can be tough. It's easy to get distracted by them and stray from those things you need to do. Procrastination is my own worst enemy. Janice, I totally can relate with you there. That's one of the things about ideas that is kind of a crutch for me, is that I can get overwhelmed by ideas. I mean, I literally think of so many ideas all the time, and I'm like, okay, which ones should I act on, right? And so that's like a combination of having good ideas and trusting your gut. So coming up with tons of ideas and then letting them sit for a bit. And one of the things I've noticed about myself is that I think if I am super still excited about that idea a couple of days later, then I know that maybe that's something I should pursue a little bit. And the other thing that I've discovered a little bit is that sometimes I can sit on them, like you said, procrastination, and I sit on them too long when I'm excited about it. And so sometimes it just helps just to take action on an idea. And you might not know if it's going to work out. And like I said, if you have a good feeling though about it, if you're excited about it, I think that's super helpful. And so just try. You can just experiment a little bit. There's nothing wrong with failing and going, okay, that didn't work out, right? Rather than just letting something sit to the side. But at the same time, not letting it get overwhelmed and not trying too many things at the same time, right? Because then, which I've definitely done before. Like I have all these ideas and I'm acting on too many of them, and then you have no focus, right? So there's a good balance there. And trust me, you can tell I've experienced this and know exactly what you're talking about. So a little focus and intuition along with those ideas are super, super helpful. Looks like Sherry is celebrating due. She's going to edit a video and post it. She doesn't care what it is, but just take the leap. I love it. Just like we were just saying, just experiment with your ideas. Make a video, Sherry. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, look at this. I literally did not plan for this 28 Days of Chocolate at all. There was no planning whatsoever. I didn't promote it. I didn't have any marketing around it. I just thought I'm just going to do it because if nothing else, celebrating things in my life are going to bring more things to celebrate to my life. And so whether or not people join me in the live chat box or not, I'm doing this, and I'm so grateful on those days and celebrating you guys for being here and celebrating with me. So I think it's awesome that you're just going to go for it, Sherry, and I would love to see it. So maybe once you have it posted, you can put the link down below in the comments, and then other people can take a peek at it too. I would love that. And it looks like, let's see. Oh, how funny. When you did that episode with Evan about procrastination, Ellen DeGeneres cracked me up. That is you, especially working from home. That's funny. I forgot I did that video with Evan about procrastination. Yeah, that's awesome. I was so lucky to be able to go up to Seattle and meet up with Evan when he was there working with Microsoft on some consulting about entrepreneurs. And so we did a few, I think it was Entspresso episodes, and that was super fun. I had such a great time with them, and I love Seattle. I've heard Seattle is super nice today. Is that true, Sherry? I'd love to know. It's super gorgeous here in Portland. And I also heard what made me think of Seattle this morning too was that The Weeknd is going to come and perform up there, which is he's one of my favorite artists. I love him so much. I love his sexy music. So anyway, and there's more chat in the box about books. I think that's cool, Janice. You are writing down a book of ideas too. I am, and Sherry, you asked me a question about writing a book. Yes, I am writing a book. I'm writing a book. It's a fantasy book. It is about the power of our own. Well, it's about our own power, basically. But a lot of the characters in my book will have special powers with their hands. So, but the theme of the book is that the power is in our hands. We have the power to change our lives, to do things in our lives. And so I'm super excited about it. It's kind of a fantasy, sexy, I don't know, a futuristic type book. I'm super excited about it. So Anyway, love that you guys are joining me. Love that you guys are celebrating with me. Again, if you're watching this on the live replay, please do share with us also. Would love to hear from you. And Sherry, please do, when you post that video, post it down below. I want you to do that so I can watch it, but also anyone else who might be joining in can watch it too. I love that. All right, thanks you guys. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. Tomorrow's Friday, so it might be just a tad late. Tuesdays and Fridays, it's very possible it could be late, but too much past 9:30. All right, thanks you guys. I'm gonna go finish eating my gourmet almond joy chocolate almond coconut thing from Theo. All right, thanks. And I'll put the link for that below in case any of you all want to try it too. But I just found it at Whole Foods and I've seen it at other kind of like natural organic grocery stores too. All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye.